For those of you who don't know, we're a family organization made up of family members who have lost a loved one on the job. Tonya is a very active board member of USMWF. She became active whenever she lost her uncle, Robert Fitch, in 2009, or as we affectionately call him, Uncle Bobby. Uncle Bobby fell 80 feet from a man lift at his job at ADM, which he worked at for over 31 years. Tonya's dad was the one who found Uncle Bobby that horrible day. Since then, through USMWF, Tonya has testified at congressional hearings. She has testified at OSHA Listens. And she has, since our family members are all across the country, Tonya has done an amazing job at making a difference in her home state of Nebraska. Tonya hosts a Workers' Memorial Day every year at the state capitol for the last 3 years. She has hosted this year the first ever Worker Safety Awareness Expo. And she continues to reach out to Nebraska family members who have lost a loved one on the job to provide her support and her guidance and her wisdom. When I first met Tonya, I was amazed by her energy. She became very active very soon after the loss of her uncle. And I'm amazed by this because I was 5 years into the loss of my father, and I didn't have half the energy that she does. It took me that long just to be able to get to the point where I could start fighting the fight and helping to make a difference. But she was already there. Tonya has been a very supportive and loving member of USMWF, and I speak from the entire board and the entire family members when I say, we love you, girl. It is with great admiration that I introduce to you the 2012 Community Family Activist Award to Ms. Tonya Ford.
Thank you very, very much. This means so much to me and a lot to my family. I stand here today, as Catherine said, because of my Uncle Bobby. I was raised from a traditionally large, loving, extended family. My mom and my Uncle Bobby and the rest of their siblings were heroes to me and my generation of the family, and their values are defined in me today. Uncle Bobby was a hard-working, loyal company guy with 30 years at ADM. Uncle Bobby went right to work at a young age and didn't finish high school. When he got his GED late in life, a matter of pride we shared his joy at that success with him. His sense of humor was legendary in our family, and he was always generous with the support and affection. He truly believed in me. The last time I saw him, he told me that he would... Last time I saw him, I had just got a job. And I said, Uncle Bobby, I pass your work every day. Will you wave to me from the top of ADM? And he said, Tonya, that is 1.5 miles away from my job. And I said, yes, but I got a job, Uncle Bobby. And he goes, I will wave every single morning. And 2 months later, he died. And every single morning, I pass that job. And I wave still, wondering what happened to my uncle. The last thing he said, and I saw him 4 years ago, Thanksgiving night, the last thing he said to me, and I don't know why I remember it so strongly, was, I love you, Tonya. And I know he said it every time, but it was just so impactful that time. And I said, I love you, and he walked out. And then on January 29th, he got on that man lift, and he fell 80 feet. The lift was installed sometime before 1970. Because it was so old, ADM could take advantage of the grandfather clause that allowed them to bypass current safety standards for the type of lift. The first person on that scene was Uncle Bobby's brother-in-law, my dad, who found him dead. He had fallen from that lift on the plant floor. On that day, we lost a son, a brother, a dad, and the man who we called Uncle Bobby, and he had 25 nieces and nephews and 30 great-nieces and nephews. We shouldn't have lost my Uncle Bobby that way. The fact is, ADM knew there was a problem with the lift, but they made an economic decision to do nothing about it. Because ADM blatantly ignored the human cost in favor of profit, I am here today. I need to take a moment and recognize a few people, because the fact of the matter is it takes hard work and dedication from all of us to keep on fighting to make a difference. And if it wasn't for their help, I wouldn't be standing here today. First off, I want to thank all of my USMWF families across the United States that have inspired me to make awareness to workplace fatalities my priority. Thank you, Tammy, for your dedication to making USMWF a viable and critical resource for these families, and Mark for always being beside Tammy and USMWF. Thank you for all of my Nebraska families that couldn't be here today. I'm sorry that we met in this way, and we have met because you have lost a family member who is dear to you. But I ask you to know that I hold all of them in my heart and speak of them with honor and pride everywhere I go. Thank you for walking in every parade. And in Nebraska, you can have weather from 104 degrees to 4 degrees, and we've had both. And I want to thank the Hitchler family especially. His picture, Ryan Hitchler's birthday was yesterday, and his pictures in the conference room. And his parents, every October, make a huge float for USMWF, and we walk in the parade. That's televised throughout Nebraska. Trying to reach out to families. And I want to thank my family for the help that they have given me in doing Workers' Memorial Day and doing Nebraska Safety Expo. And I want to thank my husband and my kids and my mom and my dad, whose love for me and whose dedication to the cause have made it possible for me to keep fighting something that has become so important to all of us, as I couldn't have done it without them. Thank you to the Public Welfare Foundation, Nebraska AFL-CIO, Benita Winningham from Nebraska OSHA, the other OSHA representatives, Federal OSHA, Dr. Celeste Monforton, Peter Dooley, John Newquist, and the local unions in Nebraska for helping me make awareness to such an important issue. I want to thank all of you tonight too. Because of the work you do, fathers were able to go home from work and have dinner with their families. Moms came home from their jobs and are helping their kids with their homework and kissing them goodnight. Because of the work you do, my Uncle Bobby will always be remembered. And because of the work you do, his death was a wake-up call instead of just one more sad statistic. Raising awareness of this importance of the right to occupational safety makes a difference. Recently, my 7th grader came up to me and was upset after school. And I asked him why was he so upset. He said, "Mom, I sat there at recess and I looked at an LPS worker get in a lift attached to a truck." And I said, "Well, why'd that make you upset, Tristan?" He goes, "Mom, he didn't have a harness on." And I go, "He didn't?" And he goes, "Nope." I go, "So what'd you do?" He goes, "Mom, the teacher came up to me and asked me why I was upset and why I kept looking at the guy in the lift." And he goes, "Obviously he doesn't know who OSHA is." And then he goes, "And I hope he never knows who USMWF is, because then that means he lost somebody like Uncle Bobby." It took the awareness of my son speaking out. He asked me then to call LPS and talk to the district office and say, "This is important, you have to have that on." We did. He sat there right beside us and we called. And they called him back and they thanked him for making awareness to that. And that's in 6th grade how important that is to know. And that from now on they will wear a harness. And I'm very proud of my son for that. Thank you also to the National Council for Occupational Safety and Health for this award. I'm truly honored, and it means so much to me, USMWF, and my family. Most importantly, it honors my Uncle Bobby. Someone very dear to me told me, "You fight until you cannot fight any longer. When you're done, I will understand. But until that time, you have to do what you can, and I will fight until I can't any longer." Again, thank you all for your support and your guidance, and a little note to my Uncle Bobby. I'm so very proud of you. You have made a difference, and you are truly missed and loved. And I'll always remember you. Thank you.